ship was privacy. The winds blew hard and fear dipped down below me. Crypto boys blow. She'd not been but 2 years from shore when her value it began to soar. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto gold and rum. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto gold and rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go.
What up, Vigilantes? I'm here with, in my opinion, is one of the most badass crypto entrepreneurs on the planet, the one and only Mullroy. This man created, check this out, the Trezor for Privacy Coins. Dude, I never expected to run into you here at Liberland, and it's so awesome to have you here. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, a bit closer. Right. Yes, no, thank you. It's awesome. We had a great Liberpulco. It was an awesome summit, and we're so grateful to have been part of it. It was such an experience. All the speakers, one can't believe, the wisdom that was parted to each and everybody. I think there was something from health to crypto. There was something for everybody. So we're very grateful to have been part of the whole experience.
Awesome. So look, if you guys didn't see it live, as it was being streamed, you can definitely get the replays at incorporation.com. Highly recommend it because it was intense. The speakers were incredible, they were amazing. Yeah, for me, every year, every time we have an event like this is like a homecoming, and I get to learn so much from people who are not in my lane of technology, but rather from those who are into health and wellness. I just consume it, man. I absorb as much as I can. So highly recommend it. If you guys want to expand your mind, highly recommend you guys watch those replays. So, okay, Mullroy, how did you come to the idea? How did you come to become the person who's working on this project, which is the hardware wallet for privacy coins?
The whole project kicked off roundabout in the run-up to the previous bull run, and I thought there's many people doing their own little coins, and the idea was, all right, where can I participate in the crypto space? And it was just at that time that Jeff Berwick was starting to talk about Pirate Chain, and I was looking into it, and I immediately realized that the technology involved in doing the ZK Snark authentications is way out of line, too complicated for either Ledger or Trezor or any other hardware wallet that's in the market. And so we saw, all right, there's a gap for us to also try and do our contribution to the space.
So okay, so you do Pirate Chain, which is awesome. It is the most private cryptocurrency in the world right now. Last time I checked, it has over 12 million in anonymity set, meaning there's like 12 million decoys per transaction. That is crazy. Highly undervalued. Pirate Chain is... So I know you as a pirate. I've always known you as a pirate. But so as we were talking, you told me that you're actually going to incorporate other privacy coins. Is Monero on the list?
Yes, we've already incorporated Monero. So the next big one that we're looking at is Dero. And so basically the integration is almost finished. We headed up to a point, maybe I'm jumping the gun a bit, but we're doing a full revamp of the hardware. Whereas the Trezor has got a nice little square large display, we're going to go and increase it even more. The whole front of the display is going to be touch. So as part of that, we want to then incorporate Dero in that newer release. Once we got the new hardware, we want to say, all right, now we've got Pirate, now we've got Monero, now we've got Dero. And in a nice, bright, I can say user-friendly packaging as well.
Badass. Does that mean that it's going to be easy for you to also integrate Monero? Because Monero is like Monero's little brother, Yeah.
We're sort of exploring at this stage. It was a case of splitting up the wallet and the signing. And that amount of software that you've personally got to write means two things. As soon as there's an update on the mainline software, we've got to do it on our side as well as then deploy it to all the users who's already got hardware wallets. So we want to change it a bit, where it's maybe a bit technical, but yeah, we're going to make it modular, that the unit boots directly, say, into a Dero or boots directly into a Pirate, and that it's small, loose, standing little modules. So in that case, we also want to open an API that any other vendor who would like to develop their coin and deploy it on our hardware would then be able to do it themselves. But as a teaser, the Trezor software, we are basically porting that to our hardware platform. So call it all the legacy coins. Whatever Trezor is supporting, that would be the actual Trezor software. So we don't care about wasting time rewriting code base that's already there. We just want to deploy it on our device as well. So then people basically, when they buy that device, they've got everything that a Trezor can offer them, plus future-proof hardware for any new coin and project that's ever then going to be released.
Awesome. So I bet everybody's asking, what's the name of this wallet? Where do you find it? Where do you buy it?
The easiest place to go and look at is at the moment is the barter.com, BARRRTOER.com, which is the Pirate Chain's marketplace. It's advertised there. That's at the moment the older version 1 Pirate. We call it the Pirate hardware wallet because it just sort of started off as the main coin that we support. But we'll keep on calling it the Pirate hardware wallet.
Have you been following the development with Monero regarding full chain membership proofs? Okay, so you've not? Okay. I was going to ask you if you actually were preparing to incorporate that within the Monero with that update when it comes out.
Sure. Whenever there's some update in the GitHub, we just check it out and we just deploy it on our platform as well.
Okay, easy peasy then. Ready to go. Yeah. So, dude, that is awesome. Do you have any competitors? Are there any competitors out there?
No, there's absolutely no competitors. The reason is the Trezors and Ledger and call it existing hardware wallets have got a thing called a secure element. It's a piece of cryptographic IC or hardware, and it's only designed to actually sign transactions. Whereas if you look at the case of Pirate Coin with ZK Snarks, it takes, in this case, the hardware about 30 seconds with 4 processors running full speed, 100% utilization, for 30 seconds to create those ZK Snarks signatures. So there's just absolutely no way that you're going to do it with a dedicated ASIC IC. You need a general purpose hardware platform to be able to do that.
So tell me, what kind of hardware do you use? Is this open source hardware? Like what kind of, is this a Raspberry Pi that you're using? Like what is it that you're using? Is it an Intel chip that has had all of the surveillance stuff removed? Like what's going on here?
This is a Texas Instruments part. It's part of the ARM family of processors, the same stuff that you've got in your cell phone. In this case, they've embedded 4 cores in a single IC, so it's a quad-core processor running at 1.5 gigahertz, and then it's got 1 gig of onboard RAM and 8 gig of storage. What makes this quite unique compared, say, to a Raspberry Pi is that there is, call it, root of trust built into the hardware, and that means from the moment you switch it on, there's an internal boot ROM that switches on, and that goes through various sequences to basically boot up the processor and eventually start running the operating system. So from the second you switch it on, you want encryption keys in the hardware that's basically verifying and making sure that there's no gap in the security chain. So that's the only ARM processor, call it general purpose hardware, that we could find that's still got an uncracked root of trust in it. So we think it's quite a unique little feat that we've put the whole thing together there. But at the moment, it's not open source hardware. We are looking at options maybe to see how we can introduce it to other people and see, maybe open it to the community and let them scrutinize it. Let's see.
Dude, that's amazing. So like, what you've been working in this space, what is your idea of privacy right now? I hear a lot of comments from people saying like privacy is very important, but it's not something that is like it almost seems like people are happy in surveillance. What's going on here?
Yeah, man, it's absolutely crazy. It's almost like a credit card statement. I'm already a bit worried swiping my card here, wherever we're traveling, to say, but I mean, forever and a day, they'll be able to go back into my credit card statements and look exactly what I bought. And that's exactly what you have on a public ledger. So people would always come back and say, yeah, but I've got nothing to hide. We all know the old argument in that regard. I'd say, don't just go privacy by default, and then you don't have to worry about that issue at all. Again, what is the currency today used mostly for crime? The widely used currency, and unfortunately it's the US dollar, $100 bill. So if they tell us crypto is being used for funding terrorism, oh really? Fiat is being used far more. So I don't think that really that's an argument that holds water.
Yeah, it's funny to me how something so valuable as Pirate Chain is so undervalued. Even Monero to me is extremely undervalued, and it just bewilders me. I guess people are pretty comfortable, and they don't feel a need for privacy. What do you think the future of privacy coins will be?
I think the privacy coins will maybe a bit too late for some take off as soon as the clampdown on crypto happens. If you've got a Bitcoin wallet and suddenly, it's locked down, all your coins that's ever touched that wallet is frozen up and tagged, and a lot of people is going to lose billions of dollars. I think unfortunately a bit late. People will then realize in hindsight that I should have been using privacy. So while you've got the chance, audience, get into Pirate while the price is at almost an all-time low for the cycle, load up, and let's see where it takes us.
Okay, so why do you say that governments will clamp down on surveillance coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum? What makes you think that they're going to make them illegal or shut them down?
I think it's a case that they want every transaction taxed. So it's not so much, maybe. So I haven't thought too much about that. But I think primarily, like with a credit card or a Visa that you swipe, there's that 5% vendor fee that's deducted. And unfortunately, as soon as you go peer-to-peer, they are cut out of the value chain. So call it the taxation, which any so the bottom line is, if as soon as it's private, there's no chance that they can then intercept the transaction and get their tax on it. And I think that is what would be the catalyst to say no, they can't have this. They rather want to be able to see what's going on. Primarily, I think it's a parasitic thing to basically just milk money out of the population without adding any value per se.
Yeah, people forget that that if you use Bitcoin or use Ethereum or Solana, you're using a transparent surveillance coin. Like, that's something you have to really keep in mind. Every time you use Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum, you're completely open forever. Your transaction, they will be able to nail down who owned the wallet, at the very least, probabilistically have an idea if they really want to, who owns the wallet. So just I think this is something that people don't understand. And if they do, they need to be reminded of the fact that most of these blockchains are open and transparent for surveillance. Unless you have a UTXO model that scales on chain, and you can have nano transactions with zero knowledge proof. We don't have that yet. It's not there yet. It's an idea that could happen if Bitcoin scales on chain, if they increase the block size. I don't see it happening anytime soon. So your only surefire bet for autonomy, freedom, and privacy is to use privacy coins that are private by default. You know, I tend to emphasize a world that can change, but if the world doesn't change, your only choice is privacy coins. Otherwise, you're going to be in a surveillance system through and through in both fiat and crypto, like with Monero. Pardon me, with Bitcoin, any version of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Why is it that this message is so hard for people to grasp?
Ralph, yeah, now that's the $1 million question right there. Basically, in Pirate Coin or Pirate Chain, you've got Bitcoin with privacy by default. It's almost time to make a fresh start, to start anew. And we're not sure if it's the marketing or why we're not getting the reach to the public. Some people say it's the name for some crazy reason. I mean, the name is just the name. It's not like we are pirates that's going to come and pillage. It's the idea was actually to be pirates against the existing financial system. So that is maybe something people have to get their minds around. But yeah, it is definitely also mind-boggling for us.
Yeah, what I think is that there is only so much attention span from people interested in crypto, and the VC-funded endeavors in crypto get more attention because they have a bigger marketing budget, whereas something like Pirate Chain or Monero are grassroots. They're grassroots, and so it's just people volunteering to talk about technology that they love. That's all it is. It's just grassroots movement. There are no central planners. There's no one like, it's just all donation based, any marketing endeavor whatsoever, it's all donation based. So that's why, that's really why. And so it's, yeah. You gotta use Pirate Chain, guys. You gotta use Monero. And one thing that I think is very important is that intrinsically speaking, the constitutive makeup of Pirate Chain and Monero are better stores of value than Bitcoin, because they are private by default. So, I mean, you can't, in my mind, I can't call something a store of value that is butt naked to surveillance. I'm sorry, but whoever thought about a treasure chest where you keep your treasure that is in the middle of downtown square, that is completely made out of glass or plexiglass, and people can see right through it? That, I don't consider that a store of value. I'm sorry, that does make no sense. That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is having your treasure in downtown New York in plexiglass. That's all it is, with your name on it. If you're dumb enough to have your name on it, which most people do, and through blockchain analytics, it's easy to identify who owns that. So, yeah, for me, from intrinsic first principles, if you go to the metaphysics of it all, Bitcoin does not operate as a store of value. Like a real store of value is private by default, like Pirate Chain and Monero. I honestly think that it is the marketing budget of these VC-funded endeavors like Bitcoin and Ethereum that have led people to think that they are what they're not. But in reality, they're not private, they're not fungible, they're not instruments that I consider, do you guys walk around with your savings account on your forehead?
Your balance.
Anytime you make a payment, do people get to see how much money you have in your bank account? Isn't that ridiculous? Like, banking has more privacy than Bitcoin.
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on?
Ralph, I think it's just, as you say, awareness. And people, I think, don't quite realize how easy it is to trace the balance of any address on the blockchain. And I think it's once they realize, as you say, presenting their bank balance every time they make a transaction, and they say it's crazy, they were not going to do that. But somehow they do it with all the legacy unencrypted, call it open blockchains. So yeah, we really hope, but I mean the work that Crypto Vigilante has done, Dollar Vigilante, has really put the spotlight on privacy, and the work that you guys have done, I think, has really been a bastion. Without you guys, it would have just been lost in the noise. As you say, there's thousands and thousands of coins. It's quick pump and dump market attention, and people have to step one step back and realize the game is now up. It's now privacy or nothing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, where do you guys have a website for the wallet, for Pirate Wallet?
No, well, there is a GitHub address. It's github.com/Mullroy, Mullroy. So that would be just a landing page for some of our software. In that, on the front page, there's a way how one can get involved, send us a message. It's a pirate coin address, and by paying us some pirate to that address, there's a memo field, and that's an encrypted message. So pirate to pirate addresses, there's I think it's called 128 character, almost like Twitter, like an SMS that you can type for somebody, and it's an encrypted message that nobody can intercept. So if you don't want to use pirate, maybe just initially as a payment system, think of it as the ultimate secure messaging system that you can also use.
Badass, guys. Use Pirate Chain for messaging. Like, what else? Like, this is awesome. Yo, Mullroy, thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all the work that you're doing. I want to stay in touch with you and interview you again once you deploy new things that you kind of gave us a sneak peek of here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for the kind words, and yeah, I hope to meet soon.
Awesome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace, love, anarchy. Now we are dealing with a possible world war. Some will say we are already in a world war. My condolences and prayers go out to everyone suffering under tyranny. It really sucks. I'm really sorry. But it seems as if people are starting to wake up regarding crypto more and more each day. And so it's in the description right here to read, where we give our secret sauce and what we teach our subscribers, because things are just that bad. You know, everyone needs this information. People need to know about sound cryptocurrencies that are actually private by default, and to know how to properly use crypto.